इसका इसका जो है टैलेंट से या क्वालिटी से कोई लेना देना आज के समाज में रहा नहीं है, इसका सिग्निफिकेंस भी नहीं है।
शुरू के 2-3 साल में अवार्ड सेरेमनीज में गया था और मुझे भी वो फीलिंग होती थी कि यार मुझे अवार्ड जीतना है। बट फिर जब मैंने देखा कि वो जो सेटअप है, जो एटमॉस्फेयर है, जो माहौल है, मुझे लगा कि यार इन चीजों से मैं दूरी बेटर हूँ।
वो अवार्ड्स आप भी जानते हैं कि वो टीवी शो होते हैं, उसमें जितने ज्यादा एक्टर आएंगे, जितना ज्यादा भरेंगे, उतना ज्यादा चैनल उसे खरीदेगा।
हमारे पास एक भी अवार्ड नहीं है which is a very serious award.
The Filmfare Awards that were launched in 1954 had a sense of exclusivity and respect among the film industry. For one, the only accolade beyond the national award existing, and for there to be a sense of decorum and class for the way with which these functions were conducted. You would actually hear anecdotes of actors being upset about being nominated in categories that they thought were demeaning, or commenting on an individual or colleague not deserving the accolade because there was actual weight or regard for the winners. As the years have passed by, the saturation of award shows that are hosted by companies aided by multiple sponsors has only watered down the credibility and weight of such functions. The question is twofold. Do the masses really care about who has won the awards anymore? And two, is it just a glorified song and dance show at this point? I think there is truth to both statements. I think what was the nail in the coffin of removing the aura that one has for these award shows was the disdain with which actors themselves only stated on how they were coaxed to perform for the show for half the money in exchange for an award, how more or less the organizers just want to invite as many known faces to the event so that they can create several bites as a selling point for their show and ultimately sell it as even their schedule of shows, showcasing it with vintage serial editing of zoom-ins, jump cuts and irritating laugh tracks for dramatic effect. The actors themselves crapping on the credibility of such events was the one thing, but even when journalists like Shekhar Gupta went no holds barred in describing the tantrums of actors on such events, I think the little boy that used to gear up for the day of the Filmfare Awards and sometimes call over friends to watch the same together quickly walked into oblivion. Irrespective of its importance, irrelevancy, or sheer fancy dress nature at this point, I still have a job to do, at least for having a take on the winners and snubs of this year's IIFA Awards held in Abu Dhabi. The reason I also say that the awards have become a glorified weekend party and nothing else is because literally companies at this point are willing to sponsor your trip for a few posts on your social media handles. You saw the same for the Cannes Film Festival and it's true for Indian Film Awards as well. Pitch to get yourself sponsored from any company that is advertising at the event and boom. You've got an all expenses paid trip and established the perception कि तुम भी Bollywood के active part हो. Another clarification is that the awards are from all the movies from 2020 to 2021 as they missed 1 year of films due to the pandemic. Let's get to the category straight away, and I have to say, I can't be super critical of the choices made for the winners this season. Let's get to what makes total sense in my eyes versus what slightly was on the ludicrous side. I think Vicky Kaushal winning Best Actor for Sardar Udham, I literally had no doubt in my mind that the man deserved it in every shape and form. He had a performance that absolutely transfixed me, assimilating in the world created by Shujit Sarkar with such ease. His portrayal as Sardar Udham really did impact me for days. For one, his dedication, and two, his ability to perfectly portray different ages of the freedom fighter as well. A lot of people loved Siddharth Malhotra and Sher Shah as well. While credible and effective, I think Vicky had a more challenging role as Sardar Udham, definitely inching over Siddharth as a more nuanced and effective performance. Kriti Sanon winning for Mimi was also something that I mostly agreed with. Kriti often gets reduced to being described as beautiful in movies, but I think she really did showcase her acting chops in this film. Not only physically transforming herself, but emotionally drawing you in as a character feels that the walls are closing in on her and she won't have any chance in this life. However, I think there is still room for debate as Kriti definitely got a run for her money with performances like Sania Malhotra in Paglet and Vidya Balan in Sherni. They were truly exceptional. You can also go out of your way to create a case for those not nominated like Pariniti Chopra and Sandeep or Pinky Farrar or Kangana and Talaivi. But I still think that Kriti's win is still not wildly surprising and fitting for a season where there were some outstanding women who left a lasting impression. I totally agree with the choices made for best actors in a supporting role. Even though Pankaj Tripathi hates the term supporting role, he was absolutely hilarious and demonic in his portrayal in the inventive and fun film Ludo. I was especially so happy for Sai Tamankar to win for Mimi. She is an exceptional Marathi actress that most people should take notice of. People have not even scratched the surface in understanding her true potential as a performer. In the technical category, A.R. Rahman won Best Background Score for Atrangi Re that I totally agree with. That humming tune that plays just before the end credits is still vivid in my memory, making me also remember what an interesting experience it was watching Atrangi Re. Sardar Udham bagging editing, cinematography and special effects was truly well deserved. I mean, the movie was a visual spectacle I wish I had the opportunity to watch on the big screen. However, as most of the categories and winners are well deserved, we also have to get to the rather confusing and hilarious winners. Best Film and Best Director was given to Shershah, and while I love that film and I think it is justified to give it Best Film, I still think that Shujit Sarkar for his sheer vision and execution deserved Best Director for Sardar Udham. This is not to discredit the great work done by Vishnu Vardhan, but just the intimidating task Shujit had and what eventually transpired as the final product. I think a category at this point that just should not be taken seriously is the Best Debut category. Now there is such a dearth of debuts that happen in the calendar year that they don't even have nominations in the category, and let's be honest. Ahan Shetty in Tadap was below average at best. The moment of a father giving an award to his son might be heartfelt, but it just represents how it's more of a participation award rather than actually being an indicator of one's talent. Sharvari winning Best Debut, I still get it, she has huge potential as an actor and wasn't even that bad in Bunty or Bubbly 2. But this category has become laughable over the few years because it's just handed over to a new face, mostly a celebrity kid, who was launched with a generic product. I have to also say that I think this film fraternity has a soft corner for the creators of 83, going out of their way to hand them over awards that seem to be catered just for them. A category for Best Adapted Film was handed over to 83, which was just hilarious to me. I mean, you're giving Best Original Film to Ludo, which is well deserved, but I feel like Adapted Film is some category created only for the makers of 83. The sheer investment in the project, I feel, made the organizers just make up anything to facilitate them. The jarring part for me was to hand over Best Lyrics for Lehrado from 83. A good song at best, and having competition with otherwise poetic and impactful songs. I think Red Zarasi from Atrangi Re and Shayad from Love Aajkal were easy winners. This is one award category I was totally surprised with. While the singers of Rata Lambia deservedly won for Best Playback Singing, Choreography Award went to Chaka Chak, which almost made me chuckle hysterically. A song and choreography that eventually became a meme and was repeated at such a nauseating level, I was never impressed with the choreography of that song. In the same span of years, you have had Nora Fatihi's Garmi from Street Dancer and Param Sundari from Mimi. Chaka Chak absolutely pales in comparison to these two choreographies. Irrespective of the winners and snubs, the lukewarm response to these awards also is an indicator that no one really cares that much anymore, and the aura and pride of such awards has just disintegrated into being another glamorized event of more shosha and no depth. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what is your perception of award shows these days. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.